Hello, everybody, and welcome into the BudLight World's Tailgate pre-show. I am joined here with the wonderful cast from our Team Liquid Academy roster, Eyla and Armao. Eyla, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, thank you.
Welcome in. I hope you've had a wonderful off season so far, Armao. It's been a little bit since we talked to you last, so I'll kick it off with you. What have you been doing during your little break here in the off season?
Oh yeah, so my break started recently because I was in Iceland with the Worlds
Sure.
team. But yeah, when I got back, I was in LA for a bit. Hung out with the TL people, and then I came home to San Diego. That's where I'm from, and I've just seen my parents and my grandparents and stuff, and my brothers, like my family. So yeah, that's basically. I haven't done too much, but yeah, saw some family.
Just chilling. How about you, Ayla?
Yep, so my off-season started a lot earlier than Amea's, I think. So basically I took probably like a week or two break from League, only playing my DK games in Halo. So took a decent break from League. I hanged out with a lot of the TLA members and we went some of the noticeable places were Knott's Berry Farm. That was actually really
Oh,
fun.
nice.
It was a theme park.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went go-karting, went out to eat a lot, so just hanged out, explored LA for like America for the first time, and that was really fun. And recently, in like the past week, I've gotten back into League, so now my current goal is just grind really high and hopefully end top 10 or even rank 1. So yeah, it's been fun.
Awesome. So you said this is your first time getting able to like properly explore LA. Since I guess when you came here, it was almost boots to the ground, get ready
Yep.
to go. Did you have any like favorite food places you went to, or did you guys find out that part of LA at all?
Yep. There's a lot of sushi places we go to because a lot of us like sushi. So Kura, which is like a sushi train place, is really nice, and also
Yeah,
Kazunori, which is close to the Santa Monica Pier. So those two are some of my favorite places.
I gotta admit the sushi here in Southern California is pretty incredible. So, not at all surprised to hear that. Um, we touched on it a little bit when you were on the show with Ben last time, Armeo, that you were out with the team in Iceland and scrimming with them. How did I mean? Obviously, we know how it ended, but how was that trip for you overall? Getting to be there out around Worlds and around all of the Worlds teams.
Um, it was fun playing solo queue. Yeah, it was a pure like solo queue. Well, we were obviously watching me and Bob Jenkins, but we were just playing solo queue, and the solo queue is definitely more fun than NA. As a Yeah, I mean as
No
anywhere is
surprise.
basically except those worse, but those solo queue is even worse. But uh, yeah, the E solo queue was fun. I would have liked to get a bit more games in. I did okay. I got like to top 80, but I play jungle, so it's easy to climb. Um, yeah, I mean for me it was mainly just solo queue. Iceland was fine. The hotel food wasn't that great, so you kind of had to like go get food elsewhere. It was okay. It wasn't very good. So the living experience, it was all right. It was also really cold, but I actually kind of liked the cold. It was kind of interesting because I'm only lived in San Diego slash LA. It was kind of fun being in like 20 to 30 degree weather Fahrenheit. I was like, this is such a different experience. But yeah, overall it was pretty fun.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you back. And I'm going back to Ayla for a second. You touched on it briefly. We had Harry on at the beginning of the year to talk about the differences between North America solo queue and Oceanic solo queue. What are your thoughts on the two servers, and which one do you think has the more competitive solo queue environment, even though maybe they might not be the best?
Well, I think personally I have a very different take to NA solo queue compared to a lot of other people. Because like the stereotypical view on NA solo queue is that it's like really bad, a lot of for fun players or streamers or whatnot. But I mean, coming from OS, I have like not many complaints, I'd say. OS is just a way worse version of NA solo queue. So like in NA solo queue, if you complain about like bad players or like for fun or like not enough players, too long queue times, come back to OS and it's just even worse. So like for me, NA solo queue is just a straight up upgrade. Like more players, better players. Obviously, it's not on the same level as like Korea because I've been there twice already. But like coming from Earth, it's a upgrade, and I'm happy with NSLQ for women.
Is the ping any worse, better, different? Do you
Oh,
notice it coming over or no?
yeah, I guess the one bad thing is the ping because when I first came to NA, that was like my hardest thing to adapt to for solo queue. There's a big reason why I couldn't climb that high because adapting to the ping just took a really long time. It stops you from going for mechanical check plays as often because the ping just doesn't allow you to do that. So yeah, it took a while to adjust, but probably like midway through the year I adjusted, and then after that I don't notice it too much anymore.
Sure. So this is a pretty common question that fans have for like when people are playing on stage or something. But with the Academy games being moved to being hosted online, do you guys play on the servers that are hosted here in Los Angeles there, so that you get the lower ping, or do you still play on the live servers where you get the 80 ping? And if so, if you do play on the lower ones, is it hard to practice on 80 ping servers and then go back and play official games on the local servers? Like what's that feel like to go between those two?
Yeah. So in Academy, like Academy playoffs, regular season, and all that, it is compulsory to play on the LA servers, and on LA servers we get like 10 ping or something. I forgot, but it's pretty low. But in scouting grounds or proving grounds, sorry, it's up to the teams to decide which server they want to play on. So there's either LA server or Chicago, and then if both teams want LA, the games will be played on LA server. But if any team, only one, chooses Chicago, then the games will be played on Chicago. So, I mean, to be honest, when you play the whole of Academy, adjusting to like the lower ping compared to solo queue doesn't really matter because all your scrims are played low ping, all your stage games are played low ping. But when it comes to proving grounds, it is a bit more noticeable because you will alternate between different servers depending on which team you're playing. So like Academy teams will typically pick LA servers for the lower ping because all their players are based in LA, but amateur teams, they're more spread out, so they will pick Chicago, and then having to alternate between the two consistently does make it a bit different, for sure.
A little bit of a hot seat question. Do you think that is something that's keeping a lot of native North American talent or people playing on North American servers from, achieving in more and more and going into Proving Grounds? Because we saw in Proving Grounds, the finals ended up being two Academy teams, which maybe is expected, but it felt like a lot of people had some really high hopes on some of the more amateur teams coming in, and it seemed like, for the most part at least, the best Academy teams kind of stole the show.
I mean, personally, for me, I think it was just because of the changes to Academy regular season and playoffs that made all the Academy teams like win in the end. I don't know if I made things differently, but yeah, it's just the changes to Academy regular season, playoffs, having a bunch more games. That was the biggest determining factor. I don't think ping played too much of a role.
Yeah. I agree. I think the amateur teams in spring were also better compared. Like, I mean, obviously, right? I mean, Norg literally won, but like, if you look at the Norg roster, like, if you don't take away the fact that it's amateur, it just looks like an Academy roster and like a good one. So versus the amateur rosters in summer weren't as good. Like they lost Viper and Anda in amateur. Obviously, I mean they went to Academy, which is good. And yeah, I mean, so there wasn't as many stacked amateur teams basically. There's also some like fake money involved in amateur in spring. I don't know how much you know about it. It's like common knowledge. Like one org got banned from having teams in amateur because they like faked their salaries and a bunch of shit like that. Which means like obviously players were playing for salaries they thought they were getting, so they had more players in amateur.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think Academy teams generally should be expected to be better. And I mean, basically, right? Because there's just more to gain from being an Academy, or hopefully there's more to gain from being an Academy for players, and then the best players will, be playing Academy.
Yeah, definitely. I think it makes sense. How do you guys then, pivoting from that a little bit, how do you feel about the overall format of the Proving Grounds tournament? I mean, you got to experience the most out of any other team of it, playing almost the most games in it. How do you guys feel that went?
Yeah, I was really happy with the Proving Grounds like format overall. You had a second life for most of the top teams, so that was really nice. Just not getting KO'd instantly if you like had a bad day or like messed up or something. So that was really nice. But also it's just having so many best of series to like compete against other teams and not like just the regular best of one formats in regular season. That was really nice. So like I have zero complaints. It was a bunch of games, really nice for like people to watch and like for you to display your skills. So I was really happy with it.
Awesome. And then for you, Armao?
Yeah, I like the double elim format. I actually didn't get to play a best of 5 in summer because I had to, or in Proving Grounds. I played Academy best of 5s, but yeah, because we played 3. Like I played 3 with Bob Jenkins, and then we went to Iceland, and they were all best of 3s. So, I mean, I know there's a lot of games, but I feel like they could probably put the best of 5s a little earlier. I'm not sure because we were top 3 without playing a best of 5,
Right.
which is because we just won 3 best of 3s in a row. Yeah, that would be a very small, but overall it's a lot of games, and double elimination I think is pretty fun. So yeah, there's been a lot of time with double elimination with worlds and stuff. So I like it in Proving Grounds at least.
Yeah, I mean, at least from a viewer perspective, it was really fun to watch that many games, and I honestly would agree that getting best of 5s earlier would make it more fun, especially the games that you guys are winning so handedly. It's fun to get even maybe more of those. Going back, switching gears a little bit to the discussion about the off season that you guys have been having. Ayla, I know you said you went go-karting and you've been enjoying some food, but has there been any activities that you guys have been doing outside of League during the off season that you've enjoyed? Maybe new things you got to experience, or has it just been all about trying to relax and get ready for next season?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just like relaxing for me. I mean, I don't know if you count new games as new activities, but
Yeah.
the main thing is just playing different games with friends, you know, having a bit of like flexibility instead of just grinding League 24/7. And yeah, I mean, I think that's what off season should be used for. Just relaxing, like recovering from the year, making sure you reflect on it, and then yeah, like gathering up energy to go for it for another whole year.
And then you, Armeo?
Yeah, I haven't been playing other games, although I kind of want to. I'm not sure actually. I mean, for me, I just play less, do like other stuff. Like
Yeah.
definitely this trip I'm trying to see when I'm home I'm trying to see my grandparents decent amount and see like some cousins and stuff. Because you don't get to be at home that much, to be honest. Like for like 10 months. But yeah, I am trying to climb in solo queue. I didn't have that much time because I also took some days off.
Mhm.
I'm like 1K LP right now. I bet with Jan that I would get higher LP than him by the end of the season. So I've got like 300 to go. I think it should be pretty easy to beat him. No offense to him, he's great, but I gotta take him down. It's NA solo queue. That's my element. So yeah, that's my main thing right now. I'll of course I gotta win the bet.
Absolutely.
Get some meals out of it. Yeah.
Was that was on the line? Is just food?
Yeah, some meals. Like we said like three meals. Like one person has to pay for 3 meals basically for the other person, and the cost of the meals was not determined. So who knows?
So you
Who
might
knows
go
what I
to the nicest steakhouse in Los Angeles or something?
Maybe. No, I wouldn't do that. I would probably do it intentionally as cheap as possible because I wouldn't want to be rude. Who knows what he would do though? So I gotta win just in case.
Yeah, just to be safe.
Yeah.
I love it. You said you're 300 LP behind him. How many weeks are left in the season? Doesn't it end soon?
There's like 11 days. It's enough time
Okay.
if I perform, but it's not easy for sure. I won 5 in a row earlier today though, so
It's a good start.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it and make sure so we can see who's going to end up winning that bet. I am very curious, though, Ayla, what games have you mentioned you're playing some new games? Is it like New World? Is it the old League player classic of like PoE, World of Warcraft? What have you been playing?
Yeah. I mean, most recently I've been playing Crab Game with Hayri and Yon.
Sure.
So I mean, that's a real popular game, but I mean, we we try to play games together. So like we TLA members, we try to think of like, like what game does everyone like? What can we decide on? And we actually went through like a whole bunch of lists of games we could play, like Maple Story, Diablo, PUBG. We actually played PUBG for a decent amount of time, so that was real fun. But like we just looked through like StarCraft. Could we play StarCraft? We looked through a whole bunch of games, and yeah, I think the main ones we ended up settling on were PUBG, Back for Blood. That was a new game. Actually, funny story. Harry, our mid laner,
Hmm.
he has motion sickness, so
Oh,
it's a struggle to play games with him because any first person shooters, like he tries to say otherwise. He always says he can play them, but then we tried a few, and every time he would just play for like 5-10 minutes, and then he would get KO'd and be like unable to proceed with playing. So that was a journey trying to find games to play with him. But yeah, I mean, just playing together was like our main goal, just having fun, and I think PUBG was the main one that we played.
that sounds like a blast. Has there been any streams of those games, or just fun teammates hanging out?
Yeah, no stream, sorry. I mean,
Okay, we'll
I
keep
think
an eye
some
out.
of us were gonna maybe stream crab games, so like watch out for that. But we have to figure it out first.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out for crab game streams because that honestly sounds incredible. Um, which of you guys typically goes first on the ones where you have to like time, or who goes first on the glass panels, or um, who do you force to do
Um,
those ones?
we we, we try to get the randoms to do it.
Sure, sure.
None of us want to go first.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Switching gears once again to the upcoming 2022 season, what are you guys' thoughts on some of the preseason changes that have been talked about, been shown by Riot? Mostly the two new dragons that are coming out. Do you think that they're going to be a fun change or maybe too much of a shakeup? What are you guys' initial thoughts on those two fun boys?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen only some of it. I saw the like hextech dragon with like portals.
Hmm.
I mean, it looks so scary. Not gonna lie. Like, if a jungler just takes a portal and then pops behind me bot lane, what do I do? Like,
Yeah.
I can't ward everywhere. So I mean, I'm a bit worried, but like at the same time, I always like change. Like, it's really fun to just adapt to preseason. So I mean, besides the hextech dragon being kind of scary, I'm really curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean the one that has been getting a lot of talk about online is the chem tank one. I think is what it's called. It's the one that when you die, you get basically a free Scion passive where you just revive and you get to run around for a little bit. I can see that wrecking some havoc in in some competitive games, but
Yeah, it'll be really fun to play against.
it should be interesting. The thing that I'm most interested in, and this is what I want to get both of your thoughts on, the 2022 season when it kicks off, we'll see the introduction of Akshan and Vex for the first time. They did come out before Worlds, but because the Worlds patch is or because of the rules of the champions releasing, they're not going to be playable during Worlds. How do you think that those two champions specifically, maybe even just Akshan, will kind of hit the meta of the competitive league? Do you think we'll see them all the time with the abilities such as the res and stuff coming through, or do you think that people may be overblowing how important it's going to be?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Akshan was actually enabled for Proving Grounds. I think at least one team played it, maybe,
Okay.
I think it was Lolo who played Akshan
Yeah,
in Proving Grounds.
yeah, he did.
So yeah, we had a few games and scrims against Akshan. He's like one of his annoying range top laners. I mean, I think he'll pop up here and there, but I mean, I don't think he'll be like very present unless his numbers are overtuned. And for Vex, I mean, I think she'll be seen a decent amount, assuming she's not like that her numbers aren't horrible because her kit's very easy and she's like really good at team fighting, very consistent, like mage slash assassin. So yeah, I mean, I think Vex will be much more popular than Akshan and it'll be like a big pain to play against, I guess.
That's interesting. I actually did not know that Akshan was enabled for Proving Grounds. I just didn't see him in any of the games that I watched. But there's been a lot of talk in like just our league Discord for Team Liquid or on the League of Legends subreddit about how people think that Once more coordinated teams like the academy teams or the LCS teams get a hold of Akshan and his passive, that it's going to like take over the game or something. But it's interesting to hear that like you guys haven't really had too many problems with that, like in your scrims or anything leading up to it. So, do you feel the same way, Armao, that you don't think he's going to be actually that big of a deal as people are worried about?
I mean, I think he's like it's like a good champ if you're good at it. There wasn't many people playing it well. And even when I'm playing solo queue, I thought like even the Akshans in EU were definitely better. I think the champ's pretty good, but it's not like turbo OP or something. Um, the mechanics on it are kind of weird. Like I'm just not sure about the design of like the W being perma stealth basically.
Mm-hmm.
Just makes I just don't understand why the champion has it. And the revive's interesting. I mean, actually, I kind of like the revive, honestly. Every game I've had Akshan, either my team or enemy team, something funny happens to the revive every single time. Where I'm like, oh no, or it's like, oh my god, nice, we revived. So that mechanic's fun. I just prefer that he didn't have the camouflage thing because you just randomly run into him. He
Yeah.
spins on you and one shots you with ignite.
Yep.
Just like, okay, I don't know why he's playing Twitch permanently, but I guess that's fine. But yeah, overall, I don't think it'll be some crazy pick and pro.
Well, that's good to hear, at least from my perspective. I think solo queue games he can be very annoying, especially if he's in mid and he just roams down to bot lane where I'm just trying to farm and he just shows up. But so that's good to hear. It sounds like you guys are overall like. This sounds like the 2022 season might be a little bit similar to what we saw this year. The preseason changes, we don't know all of them yet, obviously, but like the dragons might not change too much. And then if Akshan and Vex is just being a standard mage, it sounds like it won't be too crazy of a mix up. Is that kind of how you guys are feeling?
Yeah, I think it feels like a lot less of a mix up than the item rework last year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, the item rework. I mean, it's just more to learn when there's an item rework, basically, because that was last year. Yeah, I think anytime that happens, there's like this. I mean, I'm hoping there's no like insane jungle reworks because there's always like every single. It's just perma jungle changes. Like when they switch the respawn timers of jungle camps, I'm still not used to it, man. Like of being a. I don't even know. It's 2:15. Yeah, it's 2:15. Like I always say 2 minutes. Like that changed. It doesn't sound like it's that much, but like, man, 2 minutes is so much easier to do in your head when you're doing like counting the timers in your head. 2:15 is so much more annoying. So now just keep it at 2:15, guys. Like please don't change it again. I'm getting used to it eventually.
Don't change it again. You'll log in and see it's 2:20 next season, just to continue to mess with junglers, because it does seem like every season goes by they can't keep anything the same for you guys. It must be very challenging to adapt to. But with that said, we can move on a little bit to Worlds. Armeo, I know you were there, so obviously very exciting to actually be at Worlds and kind of watch the games there. But have you kept up with the games since you came back in the knockout stage? Some of the exciting things that we've seen here.
Sorry, I spaced out. The knockout stage of you're talking about Worlds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my whole Worlds like I was watching. Well, I didn't watch knockouts, but yeah, I watched group stage, obviously in Iceland. But the knockouts is like the best of series, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the playoff bracket.
Yeah. I mean, the knockouts. I mean, the notable knockout was the SKT Dom 1-1. I guess that one was pretty sick. But overall, I felt the knockouts. Like I saw there was like some people complaining about like brackets and stuff, but I think like the brackets this year weren't too bad. I think people were just upset, I guess, that T1 doesn't get to play in finals. But I honestly think EDG is underrated. I mean, I don't think they were as good as T1 to be fair, but I think the finals will be closer than, I guess, like whatever. People just say it's gonna be like a 3-0 stomp and stuff. So yeah, but overall, I like the knockouts, and I think the LCK LPL final Riot is usually very happy with. So I'm sure they're too not upset with the single limb. That's for sure. People don't seem to be ever talk about that, but whenever I'm sure they're very happy when LCK and LPL get to make it to finals.
Yep, definitely. Their two largest regions competing against each other
Yeah.
should be good for viewership.
Mhm.
But Armeo touched a little bit on the T1 and Damwon game, which was also incredible to watch. But Ayla, we talked a little bit in the pre-show that you have been watching a lot of the games. Is there any other games that have caught your eye so far in the knockout stage, or has it really just been that one that is the main one in everyone's mind?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a bit of personal bias, but I was a big fan of T1 and I wanted them to win Worlds. So,
Hmm.
you know, I actually stayed up from like 5 to 10 a.m. like to watch that series live. And it was very sad to watch T1 lose. But I mean, I think Down one are insane, so I think they can probably win Worlds. But I mean, any other series, I really enjoyed watching EDG played because Viper's like insane. So like watching him play like Lucian Nami lanes and all that and just pop off is really fun to watch. So I mean, I think people should watch out for EDG. Their bot lane's insane, but assuming Damon's bot lane can keep up, I think Damon will win.
Okay, so that was my next question leading into it. And I might put you a little bit more on the spot for an actual series score. What do you guys think, Ayla first, will be the final series score, and who will be the ultimate winner of the finals tomorrow between EDG and Damwon?
3-1 Damon.
All right, and then Armeo.
I'm gonna be bold and say 3-2 Dom 1, while still predicting Dom 1. I don't know. I kind of I like both. I like EDG. I like the EDG junglers. They have two. I mean, the sub never plays, but he's cool
Mhm.
in the EU solo queue. That he's so good, but he just apparently he's not good enough to ever play. But he's insane. Their sub jungler is super good. Both the junglers are very good. But yeah, I still think I mean, their junglers and bot lane are good. So I think they can compete.
All right, so 3-2 for Greg or for Armeo, sorry, and then 3-1 for Ayla. Uh, so both of you think will at least be semi-competitive and won't be a 3-0 stomp that some people on Reddit seem to think it will be. And that's what I think we can all hope for. A World's Finals is never fun when it's
Yeah,
over quickly.
it's always 3-0 though, so
Yep.
it probably will be. It's been 3-0 like 3 years in a row, I think, or was it not last year? Maybe I don't know. I just remember it's always 3-0 whenever the EU teams were in
Yeah,
finals.
I was gonna say I
No
don't
offense,
remember
but
last year, but I do know the last two before that were 3-0 with the EU teams.
yeah,
And last year,
who was World Finals? It was obviously Domon won, right? I hope. Yeah, they did. I'm just joking. I don't know who they played against though.
Yeah, actually, I'm drawing a blank as well. Suning.
I'm gonna look it up. Oh, Suning. Oh, we played against them. No, I'm just kidding. We played against them too.
oh yeah, Suning. Yeah, Dom won 3-1 against Suning, which
Oh,
was a
okay.
team
So
Not
not a
a
3-0.
3-0.
Not a 3-0.
and that was a team from our group as well. TL's.
No. Yeah, TL almost made it out.
Well, that's the story of our life, I think.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
fair. I guess that happens sometimes.
Seems to be a recurring theme. But yeah, I think I at least for me, I personally hope that it is leaning towards at least a 3-1, hopefully a 3-2. 3-1s and 3-0s are never as exciting as going the full distance and hearing Silva Scrapes for the final game of Worlds. It's been a while, I think. I don't remember the last 3-2, but I believe it was probably T1
SKT Samsung. Yeah.
yeah. The last time we had that, which it's been a fair bit since we've had a competitive final. So hopefully this is year that's able to deliver it. We have both of your guys' predictions locked in. We talked a little bit about upsets already, just naturally talking about the bracket. But do you guys happen to have any MVPs for the tournament so far? Obviously, haven't seen the finals, but any players' specific performance that has stood out to you?
I mean,
Oh,
it's
there's a
probably
lot.
pretty obvious, but Showmaker.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
I really like
That's
watching him. He pops up all the time.
all the Dom 1 players are like
Yeah.
kind of impressive in their own, but Showmaker is definitely pretty well. I mean, they're all just so solid and consistent. Like obviously, like Canyon, Khan has been doing really well too. Like Khan is just like smurfing. He like really wants to win, I guess, because he has to go to military. I mean, he's just
Mhm.
good, obviously, but he's been really good. I mean, usually I watch junglers, so I liked I guess Canyon. Owner didn't do that well, which sucks. I think he's like actually obviously insanely good. I mean, yeah, I mean he's like the most talented player, like one of the most talented players in the entire world. Um, the EDG jungler I think is good. I always mispronounce his name, so I don't even want to try,
Yeah.
or I don't know how to pronounce it honestly. So yeah, I just don't even like trying because I know I'll fail. Maybe that's a bad way of looking at it, but yeah.
I
But yeah,
also
there's
don't want to try, but it's the one that starts with
it's like
it's like JJ.
JJ. It's not even hard to say, but like it looks too imposing when I try to say it.
Yeah, I gotta admit I just listened to the pronunciation of it on the Wikipedia page, and no thanks. I'm sorry, I can't. It's too. I don't know how to. I can't make the proper accent sound. I don't even want to try because it'll just be too wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty exciting. I mean, it sounds like both of your guys' MVP votes go to Showmaker, which it probably is not to anyone's surprise. I will say the jungle performance this year has been incredible. I really enjoyed seeing Owner coming in with T1. I agree with Ayla that I really wanted T1 to win, just from like a long time League fanboy. I think everyone has a special place in their heart for Faker and just want to see him succeed and come back. And that team has kind of been through a lot this year. So I really like to see that. I really loved Kana and all the stuff he was doing, or Kana, sorry. Awful with names. But I think that even though the brackets kind of worked out the way that they did, where both the Chinese teams were on the same side, and then in a lot of people's minds, the two strongest Korean teams were on the other side. So they didn't really have to face each other before we get to the finals. I still feel like this is probably going to be one of the closer finals that we've had in a while, just because kind of like what you're saying with EDG and their jungler performing so well. I think EDG is kind of on fire right now. Viper is destroying it in the bot lane. It should be really interesting to see him kind of compete up against Ghost and Barrel, but I'm really, really excited for this finals. I hope everyone in chat is as well. We are running a little bit short on the rest of our questions here today. So if anyone in chat has any questions for our two Academy players, please feel free to post them in the chat and we'll have them answer them for you. One of the last ones I have here, has there been any favorite player champion combos that you guys have had, like maybe a Faker or a Azir or something along those lines that has happened so far in Worlds that you are excited you got to see?
Yeah, I actually have one. So, T1 Carrier put out Brazilian. A lot of players know of Tempest in America, North American solo queue, so it was actually put out in competitive, so I was really impressed. Carrier was a person I didn't really like watch too closely before this Worlds, but he really impressed me. Like there was this team fight mid where Gumushi hit a Jin W onto the enemy Syndra, and then Carrier just flashed on in Zillion or with Zillion and double bombed. Like I thought that was insane. Like I would have never seen the angle or like expected that. So like T1 Carrier playing Zillion, like really, really impressed me.
I do love getting to see some of the best players in the world busting out Zillion from time to time. He seems to be sort of a meme pick in solo queue, but it's awesome to see some of the best players in the world and pull it out. And then just like you said, those double bombs that come in are always so impressive. How about you, Armao? Do you have any combo picks that have happened so far this year that you're excited you get to see?
I don't think there's been any comparable picks in jungle. It's like Tal and Kiana, but those were just buffed, so. But
Expected.
watching the assassin junglers is fun. I like Kiana. Kiana's skill cap is like, I mean, I know people complain about Kiana, but the skill cap, like if you watch, like I just watched keep having to say names, but the Beifeng guy in China, he's like rank 1 in Super Server solo queue. Like that champ is just so fun. So anytime I can watch that champ, it's just fun to see like what they can do as pro players who don't get that much time to practice Kiana, and like a lot of the players are actually really good at like short time. Like Canyon's pretty good, so that's fun. Yeah, watching the Zillion, I'm happy too. I hope it gets nerfed. That champ's unironically broken. I played Hecarim against Zillion recently, maybe like yesterday or something.
He just can't move.
he presses E on me with my Eon, and I literally can't move at like level 10. It's just unfair. The champ needs to be nerfed, and then see how Tempest does. No fun.
Speaking of things that need to be nerfed, I'm not good enough at jungling to be able to pull it off, but I've seen some absolutely ridiculous Talon Yumi games. Have you got an opportunity
Ooh.
to play one of those with a Yumi that'll just kind of ride ride the town like a backpack and,
Dude,
and
no,
get
no,
those
no
pocket
one
heals?
plays
Or?
Yumi in NA. I think I played it in EU, but I didn't play that much Talon. It was banned a lot, and then I
Yeah,
was also like trying to learn it while it's banned, which I found kind of frustrating because like you don't even get to spam it that much because it's banned. Part of it, the reason it was banned a good amount is because of the Radiant Shogun guy. He's an EU solo queue player who main Talon. Okay, he main Talon in Kha'Zix before it got buffed this year. Like he's been a really high elo player with like Talon jungle, and I think he's rank 1 right now. Finn was rank 1 for a bit, but I'm not sure. I'd have to check. So yeah, anyway, I didn't get to play that much of it, but again, that champ isn't as high skill cap, I would say, but all the champions actually, like if you're playing them well in solo queue, are basically, like the assassin champs are really strong. But if you play them bad, you just lose because, I mean, yeah,
right.
you're just useless and you take a lot of resources, you know? So they're kind of stressful to play, honestly, in like high level games if you're not super experienced on them. At least I found it stressful. Um, if I was playing like a high level EU solo queue game, I would be like, I don't want to grief my teammates while being bad at this champ. But Talon Yumi, returning to the original point, I took a complete detour. It's pretty good. Kiana Yumi's good too. Any mobility champ like that, it's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? NA
What?
solo queue, if I'm you love it, I'm banning Yumi.
Oh
Champ,
shit.
broken. I'm never playing it.
True. Dude,
Never
range
buffing it
supports
as
were
well.
actually the future. We almost knew about it.
Yeah, it was close. But no talent Yumis in my game. No Yumis. On my side or enemy.
I support
Fair,
that.
fair.
I can't stand Yumi in any of the games that I play. This is more of a personal question for our mail because you brought it up. As someone who has watched quite a lot of Beifeng videos over the past year, I've always been curious to think like what a professional player thinks while watching those games. Because me personally, I watch it, I slow it down to like 25% speed, and I'm still like trying to wrap my head around what exactly he's doing because it just seems like he's playing a completely different game. Like, is that like obviously he's one of the best Kiana players in the world, so he's going to do stuff that like you don't really think through. But like, is that as impressive to watch for someone like you who's obviously incredible at this game as it is for the rest of us like casual players who are just struggling to find our way through Diamond and Platinum?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely impressive. I don't feel like I felt like I don't really have to. I will have to rewatch it, but I never like usually I understand what he's doing, even though it's just really fast. Usually, like one thing, like the biggest difference between, I mean, obviously he's way. It's not even comparable. My Kiana and his, like I'm not, but like the biggest difference between like other Kianas is just like the speed of how he uses his abilities. Like if he QWQs, it's like it's just so fast. Like
Mm-hmm.
because he knows the range perfectly on like W, so he'll always get like he knows like I don't know, he just knows like the timing of like abilities so well. It's just it's insane. Um, yeah, and also he saves his ult to like he'll be really patient with his ult and he'll just one shot you without it, and then like at the end of the fight he'll just ult and kill everyone because he still has it. So
Yep.
he's just really smart, really fast with his combos. Um, and it's just really fun to watch. I will say my ping at home, not that I would be like 1v9 encounter, but I've got like 65 ping when I'm home. It's a little hard to do like some of the things he's doing as fast because like I'm like man, like I can't even like EQ WQ is so hard on this ping because if you watch him, he's doing it so instant. But yeah, I mean he's just ridiculous. Like if you haven't, well, I know you've watched, but like if anyone hasn't seen the montages or just gameplay of him in general, I would recommend watching it. It's very fun.
Yeah, if you want to be impressed, highly recommend checking out Beifeng's videos. If you want some easy to digest ones, our TL streamer Midbeast has done a couple breakdowns of his gameplay. It can be pretty fun to watch those as well. But um, I have to agree with you. That's honestly my excuse as well. Whenever I watch a Beifeng video, I'm like, oh, I can probably do that. Hop into solo queue and into a 10 deaths. It's always the ping. If I had low
Yep.
ping, I'd be able to do it. But
It's the NA way. We gotta blame the ping.
yeah,
Why
exactly.
we lost at Worlds? Ping.
Ping.
It's gotta be ping.
Absolutely. Well, we're running a little low on time. I did want to point out there was a fun bit of feedback for you, Ayla. It's from a Twitch chatter, Fritty Tail Chaser. They've just said it's great to see you streaming when you do have it on, and finding a regular high-level support streamer is rare, and he thinks watching you is A++++. So pretty glowing feedback there. I don't know if that's someone you recognize from your Twitch chats, but pretty
Yeah.
excited fan there.
Not sure I recognize your name. I apologize, but thank you. I think I'm probably gonna stream a bit more because I'm gonna be in NA for like a few more weeks. So during time, like my last days of NA, I'm gonna be grinding solo queue. So probably gonna stream a lot more. So you're like welcome to hang out and keep watching.
Sounds good. I think with that, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and giving us all your predictions on Worlds and updating us a little bit on how your off season has been going. We're going to go ahead and throw it to the end here. Any final words for either of you before we say goodbye?
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for hanging out, all the fans. You know, here on TL for next year as well, and thank you.
Yeah, thanks for watching. It was an interesting year on Team Liquid, so thanks for supporting throughout the year.
All right, perfect. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Real quick before I go, I don't want to forget the very last shout out. Team Liquid has actually partnered with the Cooldown to host a Worlds viewing party in Brussels, Belgium, for all League fans to attend. It's 100% free to enter. I know this is probably not the best time for people in Europe to be watching this. It's a little bit after midnight there, so if you find yourself to not be in Europe and you're still interested, I'm going to post the link in chat. They are doing some Discord stuff, so you don't actually have to be physically present in Belgium to partake in a lot of these fun giveaways and activities that they're doing, but they're doing an awesome viewing party for Worlds Finals there. If you are in Europe and you are able to travel over to Belgium, it is 100% free to attend that tailgate. I just posted the link in chat, and there's going to be a ton of cool giveaways, prizes, some fun personalities stopping by to say hi, and you're definitely going to want to be there. Click the link to find out more. But with that said, thank you guys so much for joining and hanging out with us. We hope you have a fantastic rest of your night as you get ready for Worlds Finals tomorrow. We'll see you guys next time, and have a good night.